Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, it's going to be kind of a different video. This is going to be completely unscripted, impromptu, off the hip. I'm working on a three-part, I think it's going to be a three-part video. And I picked up new subscribers recently when I did the Let's Talk About Bell of the Fifth Column video. And I wondered if people knew my story about artist and recovery, how I came up with that, my whole story. And it really is, this story is inspiring. I'm not saying that I am inspiring personally, but the fact that recovery is possible. So I'm working on this three-part video of how I got clean and sober, really, and the mess that I was. You know, a really straightforward story of how I got clean and sober. I'm working on that. So this morning, I want to do a short video. I don't know if it's going to be short or not, but it's going to be kind of impromptu. There's a few things I want to talk about, and I'm just going to spew out. I'm going to kind of rant here. The first thing I'm going to talk about is Dwayne the Dog Chapman. Now I'm going to say this. I've said this before. I think you guys probably feel the same way. There's times when you see somebody and you just get a gut feeling that you don't like them. They seem phony or aggressive, or there's something about them you don't like. You get an instant snap feeling, a decision that you don't like this person. I'm sure a lot of people probably feel that way about me, but there's sometimes I see people and I just and Dwayne the Dog Chapman is one of those people, and it's weird because we have a lot in common, me and him. We both are in recovery. We both work out. We're both physically fit. Oh, and here's the other thing. He claims to be Native American. Now, I'm part Native American, Micmac Nation, and French Canadian. This is a fact. I actually took the 23andMe chromosome thing. I did that about 9 years ago, and I actually am half Native American. And I saw this episode where Chapman he captured an actual, real Native American person, and he starts spewing this mystic crap. This stereotype, we Native Americans have this mystic feeling where we read nature and we cleanse our souls. And he actually starts talking with a phony accent as he's talking to this guy he just captured. He starts coming up with this phony Native American accent, like we talk like we have this mystic feeling that we get from our soul here. Yeah, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy is such a, and plus he's just perpetuating this, I'm surprised he doesn't put a headdress on and whip out the peace pipe and start passing it in the, it's such a freaking stereotype. It really just ticked me off. Okay, so here's the story. He's a Trump supporter, and I'll put the link to this story right down below. He's a Trump supporter, and he's been spewing off in the last couple of days. There's a link down below to Yahoo. And the story's right there, where he volunteered for Donald Trump. He volunteered, when he thinks Donald Trump is going to become president, that he's going to go, and Trump says he's going to deport millions of people. And Dwayne the Dog Chapman is volunteering to go around and deport these people. And I think his quote was, I'm going to deport, I'm going to capture people, yeehaw, or some crazy hick, stupid quote. Like I said, the link's down below. And it didn't surprise me. Like I said, right off the bat, I didn't like this guy. But then I started thinking about this. All right, so he's volunteering to help out Trump and deport millions of people. How's he going to do that? How's he going to do that? We don't have the names. Obviously, people slip into the country. There's no names, there's no pictures, they slip. That's why Trump built the border wall, right? Because they slip, so there's no names, there's no photos of these people. So how's he going to capture people and deport them? How's he going to go about doing that? There's only one way he could do that, is if he just goes back and forth across the southern states and judges people by their appearance. Well, he looks like he doesn't belong here. In other words, brown skin. Or this person has an accent. This person's talking Spanish. I better check his green card. So is that his plan? Because that's the only plan I could think of. How else could he accomplish what he's volunteering to do? How could he go around and deport people? People that we have no picture of, no name of. So he's volunteering, and this is the most un-American thing. This is a country of immigrants, built by immigrants. A country of immigrants. You know, remember the Statue of Liberty? And here we have Chapman volunteering to go across the country and pick people out by the way they look. You know, that guy has got dark skin. Maybe I better check his green card. That guy's talking Spanish. And here's the thing too. So okay, so say people from Sweden or people from Germany that are here illegally. You know, what about them? They're going to get a pass because they speak English and they look like the rest of us, so they get to stay here. Or the Asian people, they'll get singled out. You know, they'll get stopped by Chapman, thrown on the ground, hogtied. Oh, you know, you look Chinese there. You're speaking Chinese. Let me see your green card. Are you freaking serious? How else can you accomplish this? Okay, enough about that. The next thing, just yesterday or the day before, I think it was Sunday, Trump talked about curtailing the First Amendment rights. And the first thing that struck me is, you know, if anybody has said, God forbid, anybody says anything about curtailing Second Amendment rights, sure, you can own a submachine gun, a flamethrower, you know, a tank, an Uzi. Sure, it's a Second Amendment. You know, the right to bear arms. I could have a tank. I could have hand grenades. Anything I want. Second Amendment. But you know, if it comes to the First Amendment, well, we got to cut those back. You know, they're disrespectful to you. What he's talking about is burning the flag. He wants to make it a year in jail to burn the flag. Let me say this right off the bat. I'm not a proponent of burning the flag. Whenever I see it on TV, I kind of cringe. It's not something I like seeing. You know, I'm a total proponent of free speech. It's not something I would ever do personally. But I think everybody should have the right to do it. It is freedom of expression. It's an expression, and not only that, being an artist, it could be almost, I would consider it art. You know, it's making people feel a certain way by an act or a creation, and to me, that's art. You know, and so you know, it just struck me how, you know, God forbid you say anything about the Second Amendment. You know, everybody and their brother could have a submachine gun. But God forbid somebody puts a bic to a piece of cloth. They go to jail for a freaking year. You know, is that America? Now, while I was thinking of that, I thought about, you know, my own situation. Like I said, I would never personally burn a flag. But I started thinking about this. You know, do I hate this country? Do I hate what it's become? No, not really. The other day, when nobody stopped, when I took a headfirst flip off my bike at about 30 miles an hour, hit the ground headfirst, flipped over, and rolled into the street. There's 20 cars there, and not one single person even rolls down the window. You know, you start to dislike the people around you. You know, you start to not trust people around you. Am I embarrassed of this country? Yes. Yes, I am. I'm very embarrassed. And I'll tell you why. I came across an article about I can't tell you guys the name of this site. It's an adult site. And I got in trouble for talking about this site before. It's one of the biggest adult sites there is. And its name, it begins with the word chat, like we chat. And it ends with the word bait, like fishing, like I fish for bait. Okay? And there's a few letters in between. Bum, bum, bum. There's about, I think it's about 4 syllables. No, 3 syllables. Chat, blank, bait. Okay. And I've always found this site interesting. It's one of the biggest in the world. And it's interesting because it's all just real people from all around the whole world with a video camera doing all sorts of stuff on, I mean all sorts of freaking stuff. Guys and guys, girls and girls. A bunch of girls, a bunch of guys. There's a guy playing a guitar. There's, you know, it's not all adult orientated. It's mostly adult orientated, but it's not all adult orientated. And I know you guys are going to call BS on this, but there's a very interesting reason why I like when I'm indisposed a lot of times and I have a little bit of free time, I'll go on this site. And I'll start looking at the pictures and seeing if I can guess the country of origin, because it'll say the location most of the times. And here's the embarrassing thing. I found this whenever I see a grossly overweight woman or overweight man, I can bet that it's going to be an American, that the person's going to be from the United States. And every single time there's a big, overweight, sweaty, greasy person nude in the picture, it's an American. Swear to God. Check it out yourselves. Not only that, but I'm curious about the background, because people say, oh, America's the greatest country in the world. Donald Trump, wealthy, super rich. Elon Musk, super rich. Hollywood, we've got the best living standards, the best health care, the best everything in the world. No, we don't have any of that. We don't have super trains. We don't have half the stuff that the rest of the world has. Look at the stuff that Riyadh and that whole area is coming up with as far as hotels and super trains, or China or Japan. But here's the thing. I started looking at the background in all these, their homes. And America, this is another way I could tell that the person was in America. The shabby background. The shabby mismatched pillows on a bed. The shabby comforter with stains on it, the shabby background with pipes running up the walls. A lot of these other countries have beautiful, like you look at it, I'm amazed that they got this big headboard that's upholstered and all this lighting and plants and everything like this. It looks like, these people paid thousands of dollars for home decoration, but they're just average people. And the way you could tell the Americans is they're the sloppiest, fattest people on this site. I swear to God, if you don't believe me, I hate to say that, and it's embarrassing, but it's the truth. Check it out yourselves. And that's the video for today. Dwayne the Dog Chapman is an idiot, and volunteering to throw people out of the country. I'm assuming by the way they look. Trump saying that he's going to throw people in jail for a year for burning the flag, and being embarrassed of this country being the fattest, sloppiest people in the world. Is America the greatest country in the world? No. We're the fattest, sloppiest, loudest people in the world. Not something to be proud of. The truth hurts. I'll be back later with another video. Have a good Tuesday.